Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Tomo-chan is a girl episode number 6 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we actually made a lot of new characters. We got to meet the parents, we got to meet Carol's mother, we got to meet Misuzu's mother, and we already was acquainted with Tomo's parents as well. So yeah, we basically went to their places and got to meet them. Cal's mother is an interesting type of a person. Obviously she just loves Carol so much, always smothers her in affection. And Carol is, as we expect, the fluffy type of a personality, has a very nice room, and it's wearing a little rabbit jump, hoodie or whatever you call that. I don't know what you call it. you know that's basically her whole thing. And they're extremely rich, obviously, huge place. And both Tomo and Misuzu went there, and spend time with her. And then the next time was when they went to study in I think in Misuzu's place, and where there they meet Misuzu's mother. And Misuzu's mother mistakes Tomo to be her mom. And I love how Carol just completely invaded her private space. And she was like, oh, you're cute. And she started just tugging her cheek and saying, I'm not used to this type of a person. But that was funny, that was cute. That was the first part. The next part was Tomo going to Jun's place to play video games. And yeah, they kind of get closer together. And Tomo falls asleep in Misuzu's futon. And a lot of things happen. And yeah, nothing happens obviously, but both gets embarrassed. Obviously Jun doesn't show it, while Tomo was so yeah, all that happened. So let's see what happens in this episode number 6. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. hmm I'm kind of one thing I'm wondering is will this 13 episodes actually cover the whole manga? Because I think I mentioned this before, but as far as I know, this manga is has at least 1,000 or more pages total. So if I divide it into 30 parts, because each chapter of a manga is kind of 30, 31 pages. So if I divided it by 30, 1,000 by 30, that would mean 100 by 3, 3 33 chapter-ish. So I'm pretty sure 13 episodes can easily cover 33 chapters of a manga. So I feel like they might actually be able to adapt the whole story in one season, in 13 episodes. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's how it's supposed to be going. Because I've seen a lot of manga, anime adapt manga in in 50 chapters in one season. So I'm pretty sure it's possible. But let's see. Birthday present. What's that? Sunglasses? Yeah, there it goes. So, okay, birthday present. There you go. Wait, she didn't remember? Damn. Yeah. Oh boy. Born in October. Ah, a few months. All right. It was yeah, okay. Wow. Born in February, okay. Oh, gift. Nice. What did she give? Book? Oh, I knew it. Book. for the relationship. Oh, does Tomo also know? Carol also know that it's her birthday. I love the little music she plays all the time. Ah! Hey, um, that's gold. That's hard gold. A bigger one. Okay. Oh wow. Oh wait. Oh maybe she like say some buy some clothes or something. There you go. I knew it. Oh, you just said it. Some dress, I'm guessing. Probably. Ah. Wait, what? Why? Why wig? Oh, okay. Well, you are a basics. Oh boy. Yeah. Well. um. Should I take over? Damn. Oh wow. She doesn't look like Tomo at all. It's like a completely different person. Like actually a different person. This is. I don't think Jun will recognize her, or maybe he will. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's blunt. What's going on? Oh, they're letting her go. Oh, okay. I can see what they're doing. No, you have to. They'll be like, yeah. Oh boy. Wow. Now, that's great. The way she's getting it. Oh boy. Oh wait, June is here. Will she? I think he'll recognize her. He probably will, or maybe not. I think he recognized her. I think he did. He's just not letting it show. He's confused. Oh, oh my god. Um. Okay, he's suspicious. Suspicious. I can't. So soft touch because he usually grabs her. Okay. He's still suspicious if this is Tomo or not. Well, Whoa! No, oh, you idiot! You idiot! You're like, what? Well, what? Ah, she wants to play, probably. Oh no, she's. Oh, there's a girl playing among them. That's what she's. June is like, wait, what? What's this? Okay. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Hmm. Okay, there you go. Oh. I don't know. Like, wait for a little bit and see what he says. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's probably melted. Yeah. Oh no, you'll trip. Oh no, she's fine. I thought she was going to. Was wearing heels. Oh, they were planning for her birthday. That's why. Okay, makes sense. All right, nice. Yeah. Well, technically, he he thought that it was someone else. No, not that. Oh, he's like he's trying to figure out. Oh my god. He's like, ah, there you go. That's it. This is the Tomo. Oh god. Ah, that was nice. Ball sports tournament. Oh, dodgeball. Oh damn. Oh damn. Okay. You you. Okay. He gets fired up. You know. Yeah. Oh my god, Carol. Oh my god. Wow. And they're like, yes, we have a good player. Well, you at least you'll be with, John on the same team. What the? Who's this guy? Oh, it's those guys who Tomo and Jun traumatized. Well, PTSD strikes again. Versus third year punk team. Instant victory. Yeah, obviously. Makes sense. Jun is like, yes, I'm going to show you. Well, yeah, this is serious. Oh my god. He's gonna overwhelming victory. Damn. Alright. What? Goma Takeru senpai. Damn. How old is he? Aren't they like 15 or 16? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. What? Ah. She's leaving. Final round. Okay, here we go. Oh, there he is. Hey, yo, these are not 15-year-olds. What is this? Karate Ace. What? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah? Ah. I don't think he wants that. Okay? Yeah, like. Yeah? Oh my god, this guy. Not me. Great. I don't think so. Damn! Hey, yo, you're gonna buzz the ball is going to. What? Oh my god, all these. Great. Ooh! Damn! Look at that. Wow. I think she will be able to stop it, or maybe not. Oh, she. Damn! What's going on with this? With this match? What is this? Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, probably. Oh wow. What? Ooh. Oh, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, it's gonna hit him. It's gonna hit him in the. Oh, wait, what? Wait, why did. Oh my god. Alright, yeah, I guess that works. Yay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, because he thought June will. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's not going to happen. Hmm. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh boy. Oh no, he. June is going to unleash his power now. Yeah, I can. There you go. Hmm. Damn, so many times. Oh, he did it. Yeah, true. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what like he's been trying to catch up to her from the. What? Oh boy. Okay. Ah. That's why he didn't catch the ball. He didn't think that Jun, she Tomo's going to pass it to him. Like he's still trying to follow her, like trying to catch her, catch up to her. Interesting. So what he basically said in the end was that like he's still chasing her. That's the thing. Like in the end, even in the dodgeball match, he thought that Tomo is going to somehow able to defeat him. So that is why he was not ready for the dodgeball coming to him, because Tomo passed it to him. He was not ready. He was like, oh, Tomo's going to handle it, because that's the thing. He still looks at Tomo as someone who can do everything and anything, and is still trying to catch up to her. That's what's going on. While Tomo is like, oh, I'm not like that. You think I'm some kind of a absolute powerhouse or something, but I'm not, nothing like that. And that's why, like Jun said, I still think you can do anything and everything. If you feel like you can breathe fire from your mouth as well, I feel like that's the thing. He's still trying to catch up to her and trying to follow her, trying to, like, has this, putting her on a pedestal. And that is why he, as soon as Tomo was the one who remained in the end, he was like, oh, Tomo will handle it. But Tomo gave it to him, which he was not expecting. So, yeah, this is also another interesting thing that he kind of explains. So, obviously, we can understand that unless and until he's able to, be contented. Okay, that's it. Unless and until he's able to be content by himself, and he is like, all right, you know what? I've caught up to her, but maybe I should stop, trying to catch up to her, and actually reaches a position where he thinks that he is on the same, on the same pedestal as Tomo, and it's like walking side by side. Then and only then can something happen to this, one-sided, thing between Tomo and June. Not one-sided, I would say it's two-sided, but it's like in a weird way June kind of looks up to her, and that is why he usually doesn't look at her as a girl. He looks at her as someone who he needs to catch up with. Unless and until he's able to catch up with her, you know this this situation, this status quo, situation is going to continue. So that's the thing, there's so many. This whole thing is, we kind of get a proper explanation of it. Like, up until now I was just thinking, oh, maybe he's just shy or something, but no, there's a bigger thing behind it. He still feels like he's unable to catch up to her, and he's still chasing that back. And unless and until he's able to catch up to it, he won't be able to see, look at Tomo as just an ordinary person like him. All right, so I guess this can happen. This is basically what happens when you look up to someone from your childhood, and you always think that, oh, that person, they can do anything and everything, and you always try to, catch up to that person. And yeah, it's an very interesting thing. This is basically like, what can I say, like an interesting reason why he is not able to look at Tomo as how Tomo looks at him. Like an interesting reason. Okay, anyways, so here in this beginning of the episode, we see Tomo getting a gift from Jun. It's her birthday, and she gets sunglasses, a pair of sunglasses. And this is the funny part where Tomo was like, "Oh, I'm older than you now. Call me big sister." Obviously, it's a few months, like a few months older. And Jun is like, "Oh my God, it's not this time again." She's going to start this whole "call me big sister" thing again. And not only does she do that to Jun, she also goes to a school, and Misuzu as well. In front of Misuzu, she's like, "Oh, I'm you can call me big sister. I'm older than you now." And Misuzu's like, "Ah, not this again." And she's very happy, in a very good mood. And Jun gave her a birthday present. And Misuzu's like, "Let me give you something. Books, reference books." And I'm pretty sure everyone realized what reference books those are. Those are probably to become more outgoing and more, like all that stuff, that she's not able to properly do, like all those, that type of reference book. And that is why she's like, oh, it's a reference book. I love Carol's part. I love how she always includes a little background music to whatever the hell she's doing. In the previous episode, when she was taking out the the hairband, a, a weird background noise she played. Now again, she's making a weird background noise while humming a tune. Well, coming, and I was wondering, what is that? It's what type of gift is that? She comes and puts a big chunk of gold in front of them, and she's like, "Oh, this is my present to you." I'll be honest, that was one of the most craziest things I've ever seen in anime. Like, I in no way was I expecting a gold bar in someone giving someone a gold bar as a birthday present. Like, who would have thought? Like for Misuzu, I was easily able to predict. I was like, oh, it must be some kind of a book. There you go. It was a book. But yeah, for Carol, I thought it was probably like, I don't know, like a, I thought it was like a bento box or something, like, because the way she was holding the thing in the napkin, I thought it was a bento box with some food or something. But it's a gold bar. Good lord. And Tomo's like, I don't think I can accept this, but yeah. And I love how Mrs. was like, come here, Carol. I can. Okay, wait, what did she say? Like, would you be interested in putting this wealth of yours to use? And I understand what they used the wealth for. Probably preparations for the birthday, like, like they made the birthday cake and all that stuff, and and the dress that they bought, dress, the wig, and everything. So that's probably what Misuzu told Carol, and Carol is like, all right, you know, come with us. And Carol almost like just gave up the secret what they're going to do, and Misuzu just elbowed her in her stomach to keep her quiet. And yeah, I love how like Misuzu and Carol are becoming better friends. Like Misuzu is definitely that type of person who's just completely like like shuts down everyone. And like like you've seen her, and she barely talks with anyone. Whenever someone comes and talks to her, she like says some outrageous stuff, and the other person gets intimidated. The only person who can probably keep up with her up until now were her two childhood friends, Tomo and Jun. So any person who doesn't know her personality, and they're all usually intimidated in coming in, like trying to talk to her. So that's why she doesn't have many friends. But Carol, I feel like Carol is like the perfect person to be her friend. It's just because Carol is so spacey and such a ditzy airhead that she doesn't really understand sarcasm or anything. She understands nothing, and it's like this cotton candy type personality or bubbly personality is just, it's just like like it's a perfect combination for someone as cynical as Misuzu. So yeah, good. Oh, now next, Tomo goes to their place, and they're like, okay, we're gonna dress you up. They bought like a skirt and everything, and obviously Tomo's not happy about it. Tomo doesn't want to wear a skirt. She's not used to it, but they're like, no, you're going to wear this. So a skirt, a wig. I was not expecting a wig, but a wig, some like like makeup and stuff, and yeah. So they start, and Misuzu was at first was kind of like putting the makeup on, and I love how Tomo was like, oh, it's kind of nice to like like see that, like like she's like, oh, like if I did it right, could I have a pretty face like this too? And Mrs. is like, Carol, please take over. Let me excuse myself for a bit. Carol is like, okay, sure. And yeah, there you go, makeover completed. Tomo actually did not look like Tomo at all. Obviously the wig completely changed her whole thing. I'm guessing she was wearing contacts as well, and the eyelashes and stuff. So yeah, it's, no one can like like recognize if that's Tomo, if you don't know. But okay, so now after that, Mrs. and Carol is like, oh, I want to eat ice cream, like, so can you help us out, Tomo? And Tomo's like, all right, sure, let me just take this dress out and change first. But they're like, nope, out now with this dress. Tomo is not comfortable at all. She's like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? Like they're outside. And here, this is very, very nice, because obviously at this point, I did not realize that they were actually doing this to put up a surprise for her. But it was a very nice thing they did, because I thought they actually tried to like push Tomo to go and buy something, because they wanted her to get over her, in like like her shyness, her embarrassment, of wearing a skirt and all that. So I thought that's why they were doing it. So yeah, obviously that was also another reason, but another reason was the surprise, like party. So it's like two birds in one stone, I guess. So yeah, so then Tomo goes into the store, and obviously she's not accustomed to this. As all the people are looking at her, and yeah, lo and behold, June is there as well. Like, who would have thought? And June is like, I feel like I've seen this person before, but he's not able to recognize her properly. Now he was kind of suspicious at the beginning, but little by little he kind of like like lets go of the suspicions, because he's like, oh, obviously this is not Tomo. And Tomo like tries to go away, like quickly take the stuff and go away. Heels, she's not used to it, trips flat, flat on her face. And June comes out and June is like, are you okay? And he's still suspicious here, but then like he takes her up, kind of pulls her up. And I love how Tomo says like, what is this, what is this soft way of grabbing my hand? He never did this before, because he's accustomed to treating Tomo like a boy. So and Jun is like looking at her, and Jun is like, yeah, he's thinking in his head, he's like, yeah, this is definitely not Tomo. And because she's acting so feminine. And as he was convinced that it was not Tomo, he's like, all right, so yeah, this is not Tomo. So he's like, okay, so I'll be off, goodbye. He tries to go away, but Tomo's like, oh, would you please mind if you walked with me for a while? And yeah, Tomo herself did not exactly realize what she did at that moment. After saying that, she's like, oh my god, what have I done? But anyways, they're like walking now. And like, point to note here, Jun doesn't know that this is Tomo. He suspected at first, but obviously by now he's like, oh no, this is definitely not Tomo, because she is not this tall. And I'm like, you stupid idiot, just look at her legs, just look at her the shoes that she's wearing. It's heels. Now that we're walking together, I'm sure of it, this girl isn't Tomo. Tomo's a little shorter than she is. And I'm like, oh my god, facepalm. Wow. Anyways, so they're kind of like walking around like by the riverside, and they see like some children playing like football. And Tomo sees a little girl also playing with them, and amongst the boys. And she's like, oh yeah, go for it, go for it. And she's like starts screaming for a moment and realizes that she's not supposed to scream like that, because this is not Tomo, this is supposed to be someone else. And Jun's like, wait, what, did you just scream? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like get excited a little bit with the whenever I say people, children playing football, because I'm kind of like that. And Jun is like, oh, okay, so. And she's like, oh, you must be feeling like, oh, what like a wait, what does she exactly say here? Okay, I get all fired up when I watch them. That's not very ladylike, is it? And Jun is like, obviously not, like that's not the thing, you you're fine. And then here I think Jun is the one who asks a question, isn't he? Yeah, June points out, you see that girl and the boy, they look like best friends. And she's like, yes. And here's the thing, June is the one who brings up the question here, which is interesting to see here, because usually you would think that Tomo would ask this question of like, oh, what will you think will happen to them in the future? That type of a question. But seeing when June asked a question like this kind of shows that he is also kind of thinking about it, all of this. It's not only one-sided, it's not only Tomo's thinking about it, Tomo always obviously we see it on like screen that Tomo's always kind of thinking about all of this. However, the fact that June never really thinks about it is false completely. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked this question. He says, what do you think will happen to them in the future? And like I said, this is very interesting, because you can see that June himself realizes that what's going on, and he understands, he's dense obviously, but he's not that dense. He understands what like Tomo's a girl and how they should act now that they're getting older. And but he's not able to accept that. And that's the thing. He says, Tomo says, it would be nice if they became like boyfriend and girlfriend. And he immediately, his whole thing just drops, his whole mood drops. And he's like, I figure you'd say that. Here we go. I have someone like that too, someone who's basically my best friend, but lately things aren't the same as they were when we were kids. Okay, um how would you like things to turn out with her in the future? Well, I haven't given it much thought. And she's like, you need to think about it. And he says that, yeah, my goal for the time being is to beat her, I guess. So there you go, this part. So like I was saying, he says in a very, like, like very brash way. He says like, oh, beat her up. But no, that's not the thing. Like you can see in the ending part of the episode, you can see that his goal for now is catching up to Tomo. Like because he still thinks that Tomo is far ahead of him. He wants to catch up and that type of thing. So you can see like the reason why he was asking these questions here over at this point, because yeah, like he's also thinking about it, and he himself is pretty much obvious. Like this is the interesting thing, this show, most of the things we see is from Tomo's perspective. We never see stuff from his perspective at all. And this is what I was saying in the previous episode as well. Like Jun is the type of person, it's not that he's not perturbed by these type of situations. He is. But the thing is, he recovers too quickly, and we barely get to see stuff from his perspective. That is why we don't really understand what's going on in his head. Like you've seen most of the time in this anime, whenever something embarrassing happens, you see Tomo's perspective and what Tomo's thinking and how Tomo's acting. However, at the same point, most of the time June is either like pointing some other direction, looking at some other direction, and we usually don't see June properly in these type of situations. They either cut away from him, don't show him at all, or sometimes kind of gives us a brief glimpse of the embarrassment that he feels, which is why it gives us this kind of a wrong impression that, oh, June is not really bothered by Tomo at all, while Tomo's the one who's actually bothered because she likes him. So it's like a one-sided thing. No, that's not true. We see stuff from Tomo's perspective. That is why we see most of the things from Tomo's perspective. Things that June is thinking, what he's getting troubled with, how he thinks of the whole situation, we don't have any clue about it. And here he kind of gives us a brief glimpse of what he is thinking. This is a very interesting way of storytelling, I have to say, because it gives us like a little bit of a mystery as to what the other person is thinking. Like usually what we see is like we get to see both their like both what both of the people are thinking, and it kind of goes like in the both the direction. However, here we're seeing it from one person's perspective, which keeps a mystery, and we don't really understand what's going on in June's head. And sometimes like these type of episode we get a brief glimpse into his head and what he's thinking. For example, in this section, he was very easily able to talk to this person because he thought this was not Tomo. And that's why he was able to ask her these type of questions, which he never would have done if it was Tomo. Like that's the thing. Anyways, okay. So yeah, the ice cream has melted. Tomo's like, oh, gotta go, and leaves. And yeah, now this was kind of nice when they get Tomo gets to her house, and we see Misuzu and Carol are actually preparing for the birthday, which, like I said, is basically two birds with one stone. They definitely wanted her to get accustomed to this. That is why they basically pushed her out of the house to uh, put her in a situation where she has to go and buy something. So that was obviously one reason. Another reason is definitely they wanted to make a little surprise for her. That is why they pushed her out of the house so that she doesn't know what's going on. So two birds at one stone, as we see. And yeah, it was nice to see. I was also surprised to see that they were actually preparing. I was not expecting that at all. So that was kind of nice. And Tomo, like they made a cake for her and everything. And she kind of explains everything that she met Jun and all that. And yeah, so there you go. Nice birthday. Next day, Jun actually goes and kind of checks out Tomo to see if that's actually Tomo or not, because he was still suspicious if the previous day person was Tomo. But yeah, it's Tomo. Tomo beats him up, and he's like, "Yeah, you're Tomo. Thank God." All right. Next part is the dodgeball tournament. So here we get to see Tomo is too fired up, and she's so fired up that she gets booted out of the girls' team, and yeah, joins the boys' team. And the boys are very happy because they got a very strong, player. Tomo's the best player out of all of them. So they're like, yes, we got such a great player. And Jun is the most person who's the most elated. I love how the seniors who we saw in the previous episode who were kind of acting tough, they came and they were like, we're gonna win, we're the seniors. And they come in front of Jun and Tomo, and they're like, let's see who you guys are, who we'll have to fight against. Tease them immediately, loses all confidence because they realize what's going, the previous day, that what all that happened. Tomo and Jun beat them up. So yeah, instant victory. The next team was uh, Misaki Senpai's team, and Tomo was like, "I'm not going to go easy on you," grabbing his hand. Obviously, Jun is pissed off because of this, and Misaki Senpai immediately loses. Gets hit by the ball, and yeah, instant victory again. Okay, now they're kind of resting now. Like we get a little bit of an information that this person is going to the strongest kid in this school is going to be the opponent. What's the name of this person? He calls him a gorilla. The other team, the finals, is like a gorilla. Third year in the judo club. Oh, he's also a third year. Okay. Goma Takeru senpai. So yeah, this guy, and both Jun and Tomo are very excited because he's supposedly the strongest person in the school, and they want to fight against him. Uh, Anyways, Carol and Misuzu lost. I love how when Carol says that, oh, too bad we lost at volleyball, Misuzu replies, there was no way a team could win with you and me on it. I'm like, oh my god. Wow, such confidence. And here Carol kind of smiles, and Carol is like, oh, it's so nice to see that, we both are becoming good friends. And Misuzu tries to leave. But Carol is like, oh, don't go. Anyways, after that, the dodgeball match starts, and he has his eyes stuck on Jun because he's like, yeah, Jun, I'm going to, because you're probably the strongest one, and he even kind of disregards Tomo as well. Now, here's a very interesting thing happens here. Like I was saying, here we get to see again a brief glimpse inside Jun's mind. You can see that how obviously at the beginning all the students one after the other get. Oh, wait a minute. One thing I'm kind of curious about here. Just a minute. You see that part I still don't understand. You see Misuzu in the end saying something like, "Oh, sorry, Tomo, this is the only way I can do stuff." Was she like messaging someone? Wait a minute. Just a minute. I'm trying to figure out what happened here. She was probably doing something here. Like you see when Tanabe gets like hit by the ball, and you know she's doing something on her phone. Okay, I'm kind of curious. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the June situation a little bit later, but let me look at this part first. Um, okay, so Tanabe is pretty gassed up. He's like, all right, you know what? I'm going to defeat all of you guys, and I'm going to defeat all the other people first. I'm going to keep Tomo and Jun for the end. So he does that. Everyone gets out. And in the end, before getting Jun, he shoots the ball at Tomo. Jun saves Tomo, and here's the thing. Again, you can see that he sacrificed himself so that Tomo could survive. Like, not sacrifice, but I'm just saying. But here's the thing. This again shows how Jun thinks that if Tomo is standing up until the end, she'll be able to do something about it. This unwavering confidence, this thing, he's still trying to catch up to him, still trying to catch up to Tomo. He's still he feels as if she's still chasing her. That's why he has this unwavering confidence in her. Okay, so Tomo's like this whole drama scene going on. Tomo's like, oh Jun, what happened to you? And she's like, oh, stay with me, Jun. Anyways, Tomo gets pissed off. He's like, all right, I'm going to show you my power. And Jun is already recovered. Anyways, so Tomo shoots the ball towards Takeda senpai. And here's the thing. It goes and hits the ground. And Tomo thought that Jun is going to grab it. She says, I'm not playing this by myself. Go, Jun. And Jun didn't realize. Tanabe gets it? No, not Tanabe. What's his name? I forgot the guy's name. Whatever his name is. Yeah, Tanabe, I think. Oh, the big guy is Takeda, and this guy is Tanabe. Okay, and he shoots at him, and he gets out. So they win the match. Again, later on, we get to know Jun was actually thinking that, oh, Tomo can take care of it, but he did not realize that Tomo would actually give it to him. Okay, that concludes the match. Now, okay, they win the match. Jun is happy. Jun is grabbing Tomo. You know. Okay, so here you can see Misuzu is not really that much enthusiastic. Like she's never enthusiastic, but still, there's like a part of her that kind of makes me feel she was not really content with the result or whatever. And Cal is like, Tomo-chan, congrats on the win. Tomo's like, yeah, thank you. Mrs. asks, what's wrong? You don't seem happy. This part, she says, I had so much fun being on a team with him today. Uh, it was like we went back to the old days. It kind of made me wish things could stay like this forever. I hope we can have this kind of relationship where we could goof around together. But I guess we can't. Here, this part, I genuinely don't understand what Mrs. was apologizing for. She says, sorry, Tomo. In the end, I can only do things for my own gain. I'm really thinking, trying to think what. There's something pretty obvious that I'm not getting, I feel like. She says, I can only move for my own gain. I don't know. There's something that she did probably, but I'm actually not able to realize what she did. Anyways, Takeda Senpai comes in and he's like, "Oh, you're not satisfied, are you, Jun? Like, let's go." And they do the practice, the judo, And yeah, like at first, Jun was like defeating him, but after multiple times, he's able to rack up more wins. And yeah, so Jun is like, "Oh, you defeated me," and he's like, "Oh no, like obviously not. Don't kid yourself. You're pretty strong. You never used karate at all. You used judo and fought me and defeated me so many times." And he says that at this point, you might as well say I lost. And Jin says that's not the problem. Here we go. He says, I hear you never really enter any tournaments. Don't you feel like that's a waste of your talent? What was your reason for getting so strong? And he says, I just wanted to catch up to the big back I saw in front of me. But the situation has changed, and now I don't even know how to approach it. He's like, what should I do? And he's like, I don't know. And then they're going back, and he talks to Tomo about this, and he says like, oh, I think you could have easily won, Tomo. And Tomo's like, I've thought this for a while. You overestimate me way too much. There you go. He's like, oh, I don't think I'm overestimating you. He says that then again, it wouldn't surprise me if you started breathing fire. There you go. That is overestimation. And that's exactly what he's doing. Not overestimation, but looking up to her and putting her on a pedestal or something. And she says that you're a guy and I'm a girl. You're obviously going to be better at me at any kind of physical contest. And he's not answering. He says in his head, he's like, during that match, I wasn't expecting that pass at all. I just believed that you would win it in the end. Overestimation, like Tomo said. And she says that maybe I'm just a gamer kid who's only strong-willed because you're by my side. It's not physical strength. Okay. Yeah, and he still chasing her. He says that I want to be like you. And that's where it ended. So there you go. Like this in this whole episode, there was one part I genuinely don't understand what happened. Is the whole thing with Misuzu, where she said, in the end, I can only do things for my own gain. That part I don't understand. Like, what exactly did she do here? I don't think she did anything. For a moment, I was thinking she was doing something with her phone, but probably not. But then why did she say that? I genuinely have no idea. But anyways, that was one part I did not understand. However, this whole episode was, like I said, very interesting because we get to see a lot from Jun's perspective, and both the first part and the last part was kind of interconnected. Where the first part we kind of see him talking, like like completely about the situation to someone who he did not know was Tomo, and he explains how like how he doesn't know how to interact with Tomo, and like they're both best friends, and like how the world looks at them, how he looks at her, how she looks at him, like that, those things, like he doesn't know, but obviously his goal is to defeat her, which is obviously one another way of saying I want to catch up to her, which is something we again get to see in the end, where we see how he overestimates her, or always still, like looks at Tomo as if she's far away from him. He puts her on a pedestal, and that is exactly why after getting defeated, he thought that, oh, Tomo can handle it. But obviously that's not the case. Tomo wanted Jun to help her out. That's why he gave the ball to him. However, he did not realize his unwavering faith in Tomo, and the whole overestimation of Tomo never made him even think that maybe Tomo might need my help. And that's why he was not expecting the ball at all. And that's the thing, like a very interesting thing, like I said, Jun still thinks Tomo is far ahead of him, and he's trying to catch up to her, and like he said, he wants to be like her. And at the same time, Tomo wants to do stuff together with Jun. So unless and until Jun changes his way of looking at Tomo, and like only when can this, like like he look at her as a girl, and when can this relationship actually start? When Jun changes the way he looks at Tomo, when he starts looking at Tomo as a person who is on, on the same pedestal as him, and do something together with her, that is when the stuff will change. Because like I said, he still thinks he's chasing Tomo, while Tomo wants to do stuff together with Jun. So that is where everything is, the problem is starting. So he needs to go to a position where he will also have the same feelings as Tomo, that he would also want to do stuff together with Tomo, not look up to her, you know, and then only this can happen. Like that's the thing. And yeah, there you go. We get a better understanding of Jun. And like I said, we usually don't get to see Jun's perspective in this show. So it was very interesting to see how he thinks about the situation and what his thoughts are about Tomo. And yeah, so there you go. And that is it. That is my reaction to episode number 6 of Tomo-chan is a Girl. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Tomo-chan is a Girl. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.